Welcome to Neighborhood Game Club. I'm Frank, and today we're going to be going to Las Vegas to talk to my friend Michael, who's a competitive Call of Duty player. We're going to be talking about first-person shooters, Turok the Dinosaur Hunter, getting mad at video games, getting good at video games, looking for arcades, and much more. So let's strap on our helmets and let's go. It's like I'm really there.
Hey, I'm Mike from Las Vegas.
There you go. That was a good intro.
Yeah, right.
I'll carry you the rest of the way. We're at the Venetian in Las Vegas. I'm on a little vacation, but I also got a secret agenda. I'm here to check out arcade games. Mike, he brought his collection to the hotel room.
I have a lot of really bad games that people say are bad, and then I actually really enjoy. Breakdown is like a game that...
Isn't it a first-person?
It's all first-person combat.
So it's Hardcore Henry the game.
It's Hardcore Henry, but with really bad controls, and you're fighting the controls 90% of the time, and you can't fight any of the enemies with bullets. You have to physically punch them, but then you fight regular soldiers who you have to take down with machine guns and stuff. It gets really wacky. It ends on a cliffhanger. I'm still waiting for Breakdown 2.
You brought your shitty N64 games like I talked about in the last episode.
Yeah.
You got some with names on it. Pull out some Blockbuster copies.
All right, this is on Blockbuster. Oh, this belongs to Steven Reinhold. Biofreaks, one of the most underrated fighting games of all time. Gonna see that at EVO. They got another Blockbuster Video, WCW Revenge. Chaos Theory, the best of the Splinter Cell games. So the cool thing about this game was that it came with a bunch of extra DVD with a bunch of extra videos, and there was Mega 64 Chaos Theory videos that are all on here. Star Fox Adventures, the greatest, like...
Isn't that a furry game?
It's a furry game. It's the best Zelda clone ever, to the point where it makes all Zelda games look like shit. Brothers in Arms, Road to Hill 3. So this is a World War II game done right. It came out at the same time when there was just Call of Duty 2 was about on the horizon. Market was oversaturated with World War II shooters. But this game has a cool dynamic where it's not just a first-person shooter. You also tactically have to command your units, and you had a button that brought you to this isometric view over your soldiers.
That's cool. So it's a first-person shooter / RTS?
RTS, kind of, but you still issue the commands in first person, so a little indicator will show up and you'll be like, hey, move over here. And if you put that indicator over an enemy in first person, you'll be like, suppress that target.
Is Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons the sequel?
Yes, that is actually the prequel to it. You know, it happens way before. The best Dreamcast game of all time, the second best video game ever created, Jet Grind Radio, called Jet Set Radio in Japan. I don't like that. That's why the remake of it on Xbox Live gets a 0 out of 10, because he yells Jet Set Radio. If you play this, he yells Jet Grind Radio.
There you go.
That's the review.
What's your favorite game of all time then?
Favorite game of all time, Metal Gear Solid 1. Okay, nothing will ever beat that. Dead or Alive Extreme 3. They just released DLC where you can make their tits bounce more or less, and asses bounce more or less, so thumbs up.
Can you pull up Silent Scope Complete?
Oh, hell yeah.
How does that work without the peripheral? Do you own the peripheral?
I own the peripheral. It comes with the Silent Scope light rifles, like $130 I got for Easter in like 2003 or 2004. There is no free play on it, so you have to actually be good to beat it, which sucks.
Are you good at it?
No, I could beat Silent Scope 2 and 3. I can never beat 1. Also, the light gun, it's a sniper rifle, but you can take off the barrel, and it turns into a shotgun. House of the Dead 3, one of the best light gun games ever made.
I don't like House of the Dead 3 because I liked having the pistols. I didn't like all of a sudden having shotguns. I thought it was lame.
I like having shotguns. Even better, House of the Dead 4, you get mini Uzis, and you get little side buns that you throw grenades. Yeah, it's so much fun.
Too much, not into it.
Yeah, you can. Well, if you beat this game, you can unlock House of the Dead 2. But you don't have a light gun pistol, you have a light gun shotgun, so it feels really weird. I'm not immersed at that point. Killer 7 is one of the greatest obscure games of all time. It's made by Suda51 Grasshopper Studios. Not their first game that they made, but it was their first like commercial, underground like cult classic hit. You play as one character who has 6 personalities. And so it goes through, you pick all your characters on the fly, and if they die, you have to run up and find like their blood sack and pick it up. And it's just wacky. The enemies are all invisible, but you hear their laugh. Yeah. So it's oddly creepy. Gives you a nice little Silent Hill vibe. This is the game that like started all my like competitive gaming for me. It was Call of Duty 1. came out in 2001, 2002. I didn't get it till 2003, right before Call of Duty 4 came out.
No kill streaks in this one.
Yeah, no kill streaks. There was aiming down the sights, but it wasn't that good because I was playing on a 56K connection. But it made me get into competitive first-person shooters. You always talk about Tony Hawk, this and that. I was a BMXer growing up. Better than skateboarding, so fuck skate. Wherever this is, this game, garbage. All about Dave Mira's Freestyle BMX. Best game.
The only thing that's cool about... there's a lot of cool things about that game, but you can play a Slim Jim in it.
Yeah, you play Slim Jim. It had Gangstar in it. A lot of really good rap. Great game.
Good.
Loved it.
Dave Mira.
Dave Mira, hell yeah.
Alright, well, we'll do some sick tricks on our BMX, and then we'll talk about video games here in Las Vegas. Welcome to Neighborhood Game Club. I'm here in Las Vegas at the Venetian. They didn't pay me to promote that. I'm here with Michael Bustamante. Venetian, gotta say it with Italian accent. Bustamante. You are Las Vegas, not a native, but...
No, I was born in Lancaster, California.
There you
but
go.
then I moved to Las Vegas at an early age.
How old were you when you moved over?
I was like 6.
Okay, not old enough to gamble?
No.
No, you didn't try to sneak in, do the trench coat, 2 kids on top?
Yeah, no. I didn't have that many friends to do that,
Okay.
so...
Okay, cool. We'll get into Vegas later, but yeah, I've known Michael since like Call of Duty 4 came out, or maybe Modern Warfare 2, I think.
Yeah, it was Modern Warfare 2.
I put a call out on Twitter saying like, hey, who wants to play Call of Duty? And then like a bunch of Mega 4 fans and other friends, like we all started playing. We were in the gay clan together. And we were playing, and I always noticed Mike was always like number 1. He would always go like 26-2, and so I was like, all right, I gotta play with this guy. And then when Black Ops was it really when Black Ops 3?
It was Black Ops 1 came out. You invited me to do Hatchet Man matches with everyone on Nuketown, like during the podcast. It was great.
Yeah. We'll get into Call of Duty later, but then when Black Ops 3 came out, same thing. I was like, hey, who wants to play? And then we just started like talking more and more, and then now Mike has been assimilated into the Skype crew, so we play games together. We'll get deeper into that. So we kind of showed off some of your collection, but just to recap, what are some of your favorite games of all time? Just a quick recap.
Metal Gear Solid, Star Fox, Resident Evil.
Which is your favorite Resident Evil game?
Resident Evil 3 is my
3?
favorite.
I do like that. I only beat it once. I did think Resident Evil 3 was cool, because Resident Evil 2 is like... I guess that's the best one. Like, it's 2, 4, and 1. I guess you could all argue are the best ones. For me, I think it's Resident Evil 1, just because like when I played that was so new, and like I got so sucked into the idea of the mansion, the story. Like it's so cheesy, perfect, whatever. Resident Evil 2, from a gameplay perspective, way more action. The story gets deeper. What was cool about 3, it was like, oh, now you get to explore the whole city.
Yeah.
Even though it's PS1 and shit's walled off, it was still that thing of like, oh, I'm going to check out all of Raccoon City. And then Jill Valentine was in her like skimpy little outfit.
Yeah, she had her little tube top.
Which is such a funny design choice. Like, okay.
But it's so iconic now that they even had to bring it into the movies and everything. But yeah, it's Resident Evil 3 for me, and Remake, which is the remake of the original.
That is amazing.
The great, like one of the greatest reboots ever done.
Yeah. Outside of, what do you think of the movies?
The movies.
One of the movies was shot here.
Oh yeah, Resident Evil 2 Apocalypse, probably one of the best ones. That's a good movie. The first one I actually liked, and the second one I kind of liked.
Yeah.
And then from there on, it got way too wacky. They're like, yo, let's get sick with it and like have mind powers and stuff. Yeah. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna check out. I did watch the last one with Jill Valentine where she came back, I guess, and then now they're trying to bring Claire back into the mix.
There's as many Resident Evil movies now as Star Wars. Like,
yeah,
like
when you think about it, it's crazy.
Yeah, when you think about it, I think about Resident Evil movies a lot. Did you ever read? I remember the books we talked about a lot on the show, but did you ever read George Romero's screenplay?
No, I didn't.
So, Resident Evil, before Paul W.S. Anderson made his movie, in like 1998, George Romero, the creator of Dawn of the Dead, and basically the whole zombies genre, he hired his assistant to play through Resident Evil and like record it, and then he made a screenplay for it. And like he pitched it to various studios. They ultimately turned it down because it was too dark. But I remember reading that screenplay in like 2002 and thinking like, holy shit, I wish we got this Resident Evil movie. Looking back now, it's kind of cheesy, and they took some ideas for the other Resident Evil movies, but it's essentially the mansion incident. But they made Chris Redfield a Native American.
Whoa.
for whatever reason. And it was just like going to the mansion incident. There was a lot more laboratory stuff, which is what Resident Evil, like the movie, did with it. But I remember as a kid reading it was cool, but it's like, it's annoying that they went with some other person, and like George Romero wanted to make the Resident Evil movie. Yeah. But if he was going to make it, he wanted it to be hard R, like... But they went with Paul W.S. Anderson to make it PG-13, and now we have 7 crappy movies. But
Yeah.
You win some, you lose some. Did you ever watch the CGI movies?
Yeah, I have both Degeneration and the other one. I actually like those. I thought they were pretty enjoyable. But at the same time, I'm not like... I didn't pay full price for them or anything. But I was going to say, did you play the George Romero's Xbox, the original Xbox game? In 2005, I think it was, he came out with a zombie game where in the demo level from official Xbox magazine, you were like in a movie theater and you had to fight. It came out... I don't know. It was really clunky and
What game is it?
It was called like George Romero's and then something of the Dead.
Wait, I'm gonna look this up. I never knew he did a zombie.
Yeah,
game.
he did a zombie video game for the original Xbox. I heard it was all right. Not really anything great about it, but yeah, the demo was pretty fun. I played that.
City of the Dead. It was canceled.
Oh, it was.
So maybe there was a demo for it.
Yeah, there was a demo on OXM, and I remember getting that demo and playing it, and I was like, "Whoa, this is kind of cool."
What the hell? Yeah, there was actual gameplay. I remember this now. Yeah, holy shit! There was a video game for it and it was canceled. Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Did you ever play Stubbs the Zombie?
Yes, I did.
Was that game cool?
Oh yeah, the game was fun. They tried to advertise it, but like, oh, it's made with the same engine that they made Halo in, but it's nothing like Halo. But yeah, that game was great. The demo for it had the problem where I played the demo so much that when I finally got the full game, it wasn't as walled off as the demo was, and it became its own thing, and it wasn't as fun.
Yeah.
But it was still a great game. You could throw your arm like a grenade, and you walk up and then jump onto characters, and you could control them, and then now you're playing as like a soldier with a machine gun, and so that's how you would get through sections, because you're just a regular zombie, and you can't get through these like towns filled with like military guys, so doesn't
it take place like in the 50s?
Yeah, it takes place around like the same time where Destroy All Humans usually does their stuff. So I thought it was a pretty cool game.
Never played it. I remember wanting to get that by the time that came out, like right when Xbox 360 was coming out.
Yeah, it came out earlier in the year.
So it's like, well, yeah, I just had moved on. And then also, you're really into like the Guitar Hero games and all that.
Oh yeah, Guitar Hero. It all started with Elite Beat Agents, and that got me into rhythm games because that's what introduced me to that whole genre.
Not like DDR or anything.
No, I never was interested in DDR. I thought the music was really lame at the time. And everything. Yeah. And so I was like, yeah, I don't really care about this stuff. A bunch of nerds playing that. And then one day I was playing Elite Beat Agents, and then I saw an ad in EGM for Guitar Hero, and I was like, whoa, that looks pretty cool. And my brother ended up getting it. And I slowly, just over time, started playing it, got really into it.
Cool. We'll get into that. So now, dipping back, how we always start each episode, what are some of the earliest games you played as a kid? What were some of your early favorites?
So my first memories as a kid were playing Turok and
Jesus.
Super Mario World and Mortal Kombat 3. Those are the three games I remember specifically playing. When I grew up, I had a Super Nintendo, and the only game we had was Super Mario World.
Yeah, that's all I need for that.
A Sega Genesis where we had a bunch of different games, a Ty the Tasmanian Devil game, the Jurassic Park game, an over-the-top isometric racing game. That was really fun. Those we got from my mom. She had a coworker who she was grounding her kid, and she took all of his games. And then she gave those games to my mom because she was like, "Oh, your son could use that." And so they gave it to my brother, and so we got a whole bunch of Genesis games.
Is that kid still like on timeout? Does he want his games back, or is he still being punished?
Here's the funny story with that. My brother ended up trading in that Sega Genesis and all those games so he can buy Rush 2048 on the N64.
Yeah.
And I still feel bad about that decision because I played that game maybe a month, and then like I was just like, I want to play the Genesis now, and even now like I feel really bad about that.
Well, I did the same thing. I messed up. I sold my Super Nintendo and all these games for $100, which I probably used to buy Crazy Taxi for PS2. You know, like Jesus, whatever. Now you can emulate it, but yeah, it still sucks not having it. So Genesis. You said you really like Turok. Was that the first first-person shooter you got into?
Yeah, that was Turok, and then Turok 2 was probably the better. Well, that was obviously the better game, but those were the first two first-person games I played, and then I played GoldenEye a bunch when that came out. I used to always bug my brother because I couldn't beat levels, and so I would be like, "Hey, can you beat this level for me?" And he would play it for me. He was my cheat code before I realized there were cheat codes. I just like give my controller to my brother and be like, "Hey, can you beat this for me?" And he'd be like, "Yeah."
Wasn't there like I heard like Turok has like so many sequels, but they're all supposed to be shitty.
Okay, so here's the breakdown.
Please break down Turok the Dinosaur Hunter.
Classic.
Yeah, they re-released it on Steam. That was really cool.
Must buy. Mm-hmm. Turok 2 Seeds of Evil, one of the greatest console first-person shooters of all time.
Okay.
Get it now. Turok 3 Shadows of Oblivion. It's all right. They introduced 2 characters.
I like that you know all these subtitles. Seeds of Evil.
You need the N64 expansion pack to play it, so it might be a little bit harder to track down now.
Okay.
One character is like stealth, and you get like night vision goggles and all this stuff. She's all right. She's not that cool. She's a girl, so she can't take as much damage. The game is really sexist. And then the guy, though, he gets the heavy weapons.
What's the girl's name? There's Turok. Is there She-Rock?
I don't know what her name is. I forgot about that lore. You know, you're gonna have to ask Eric. He's the lore master.
Okay.
So yeah, there's that one. Then they made Turok Evolutions for the...
That was Xbox, right?
Yeah, 2001, Xbox, PS2, GameCube.
That's the one that has like a cyborg Confederate general, like a Civil War general as the boss.
And you also fly a pterodactyl with a machine gun mounted on it.
How did they mess that up? That sounds cool.
It didn't. It was a great game. I don't know why people hate it. You know, here's a little tip for all you kids out there playing that game. Enter in the cheat code Texas.
Okay.
Unlocks all weapons.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna do that tonight.
So yeah,
all right,
there you go.
That's something to look forward to.
Then after that was in 2008, I think it was. They made Turok, a reboot.
For Xbox 360, right?
Xbox 360. If you pre-ordered that game, you got an awesome T-shirt. I still wear that T-shirt today. Great game. Great reboot.
Do you get
First person, you're stabbing like dinosaurs.
Do you get lots of compliments on the Turok T-shirt when you wear it around?
No, everyone thinks it's a Metal Militia T-shirt.
Okay.
But it's not. It's a Turok. It has a giant green T on the shoulder. It's awesome.
Turok just always seemed to me like a big running joke because it's like, I think the first Turok is cool, Dinosaur Hunter, whatever, but then they made so many sequels. And it never came to PC until the Steam version.
I forgot. Rage Wars came out in between Turok 2 and Turok 3. It was a multiplayer Quake clone. Yeah. That game is bad. That's the only bad one.
Only bad Turok.
Only bad one. Okay, cool. So, Turok 1, 10 out of 10. Turok 2, 11 out of 10. Okay. Turok 3 gets a 7 out of 10. Turok Evolution, 8.
Wow.
Turok the Reboot, 9.5.
Wow.
There you go.
Please let me know if you played any Turok games. I did get the Steam version, the HD remake. That's really fun just to jump in. So we're playing that game because when you walk around, it has like the Quake speed. We're just fucking bolting. But Turok has the sway. Yeah. And Turok, do you aim up or down or no?
Yeah, you do.
Okay.
You used the control scheme on the N64 was awkward. It was you use the C buttons to move, and then the left analog stick to aim. But your aim would always reset.
So it's reverse.
Yeah, it's reverse, and your aim always reset to center. Which I know is an option in like Halo and stuff now, but I can't imagine playing those games like that.
What was your first console that you got like when that generation came out? PS2, Xbox, or GameCube? For me, it was PS2.
For me, it was PS2 because it came out first. Yep. I remember we didn't get it immediately when it came out. They made a Gran Turismo 3 bundle where you got a special edition of Gran Turismo 3 called A-Spec instead of B-Spec. And I got that one. We also didn't have a memory card for that, along with because when we got our PS1 in '96, we didn't get a memory card either because my parents they weren't as well off when we were growing up.
Well, I think also another thing too with like anytime you got a system with your parents, you know, it takes a long time to just get the system and a game, and then after that, I need a second controller. Okay, you can wait till your birthday. You know, back because before PlayStation. Super Nintendo, you just get the game. You didn't need memory cards, so no one knew. Like I said on the last episode, I had to play Silent Hill without a memory card. What was your experience with Metal Gear you were saying?
So Metal Gear Solid 1, I rented that game from Blockbuster with my brother, and we had no memory card, so we had to play through the whole game with no memory card. We also rented it from Blockbuster, so we had to go to a Target that was near our house to find out Meryl's codec code, because we had to go find an actual copy of the game, look at the back of the box, and do all that fun stuff. My brother gets all the way to Psycho Mantis, and doesn't know about the switching the controller port, and so he dies on Psycho Mantis. We have to restart from there.
That's past this volcano. What the fuck is his name? Hurricane. Vulcan Raven.
I thought you were going to say Hurricane Katrina or
Hurricane
something.
Volcano, my favorite Metal Gear boss. Yeah, it's past Vulcan Raven. Yeah. Damn, that's pretty deep.
Yeah, and so he finally realized he had to put it in controller port 2, but by then he got hit by a random chair or something and died. So then I was like, are you going to try again?
Oh, in the game? Yeah, I thought your brother passed away.
Oh, no.
I was like, what?
So then he was like... I was like, "Oh, we're gonna try it again." He's like, "That was 6 hours of me playing." Christ. So then we had to restart because we were watching every cutscene, not skipping anything.
Could you skip the cutscenes when you played them again?
I believe you could.
Yeah,
because you could also skip the dialogue too. But you had to mash the button. Mm-hmm. So then, like the next day, we tried it again, and we got all the way up to disc 2. and then I think we messed up again or something happened where we didn't beat it.
Yeah.
And then my brother said, this is enough, went out and got a memory card, and then we were able to save and beat the game the way it was meant to be played.
Damn. How, did you guys end up beating Hurricane Volcano?
Yeah, he was always easy. You just lob the grenades in the tank.
Oh, yeah. Hurricane Volcano.
It was Psycho Mantis and all that. And then we didn't have the memory card for the PlayStation 2, so I remember playing Gran Turismo 3. And, like, I would just constantly redo the campaign over and over again because, you know, we'd turn it off and then, that's it, you know.
I had GTA 3, Gran Turismo 3. I could never beat the license test because I was an idiot and didn't know what to do. So I just was always stuck in the first, like, tier. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I never really got into the hardcore sim racing games. Cruising USA, I loved on N64. I didn't really play anything on PlayStation. I would rent Need for Speed. That's okay. But on Xbox, Project Gotham Racing 2, for whatever reason, I spent years playing that game.
I hated Project Gotham because it was just, you hit the brake and then you drift around the corner. Yeah. I don't like that.
That's great.
I like my Sims. Because I don't want to just play something that you could just arcadey. I'd rather go to the arcade and do that. But when it comes to racing games, I got really into cars at like a young age. I always liked that, or the Colin McRae rally games, where it's super simulated, you can't mess up, or the Formula 1 games where you tap anything, your tire falls off. Yeah, that was fun for me. I didn't like the drifting stuff, but I did like Burnout.
Yeah, Burnout's good, but that's like 100% arcade.
Yeah.
I have a weird memory tied to Project Gotham, because like on Xbox you could burn CDs. So Project Gotham Racing 2, the two albums I had on that were Slipknot's Duality, whatever that album was, and then Red Hot Chili Peppers' Greatest Hits. So I would just have it on shuffle going from Slipknot to Red Hot Chili Peppers as I played Project Gotham on Xbox Live.
I had that with Rally Sport Challenge too. Yeah. You can put your own stuff in. So I had like all of Megadeth on there. I had a whole bunch of stuff like... I don't know, Leonard Skinner, Aerosmith, like all the classics were on there. Everything you want to listen to while you have a co-driver yelling like, 3 right into 4 left over crest, and then all you hear in the background is like Freebird playing.
I don't know. I mean, I guess it's weird how much of a novelty custom soundtracks were back then. Because now when I play video games, not always, but I'll just like have music or podcast listening too. But like, I mean, I didn't have like a computer right next to my system back then. But like nowadays, it's like, who gives a shit? Yeah,
well, back then, like you look at the back of the box and be like, oh, custom soundtracks are enabled. Awesome.
Yeah.
Like,
such a huge feature. And then like once games started disabling, people got mad. But now it's like, who cares? So you moved to Vegas when you're 6. For me, Las Vegas means arcades. That's what I used to go as a kid. Now that I'm above 21, I'm here for the first time. I have no interest in gambling or clubbing, but I do want to venture out and see what arcades remain. It's all gonna be like kiddie shit, like Circus. Yeah. But hey, we'll have to check it out. But yeah, so when you moved to Vegas at the age of 6, did you go to GameWorks? Did you go to any of the trillion of cool arcades that were on the Strip in the early 2000s?
Honestly, I went to them when I was younger. Even before we moved here, we would always visit Las Vegas, and that's when I would go. When we finally moved here, I was just really into playing WWE Raw's War. Okay, because that was before. No, it was N64. Oh, this is still 98. When it's the height of the PlayStation 1 versus N64. Yeah. And so I just like playing those wrestling games, and I was like, I don't need to go to the arcade. But in the arcade, they had these awesome rally, like Baja Rally games. Yeah, and so I used to play those. Sick. Yeah, I used to play those. Like a lot of the racing games is what I played when I first came out here. And then I fell in love with Time Crisis, Area 51, and the House of the Dead and Silent Scope games. I just always
those were Silent Scope was awesome. Just the games with the giant guns. Silent Scope is such a cool novelty. Time Crisis 2 is one of my all-time favorite gun games. One, I love the feedback of the gun. Yeah. Felt so satisfying, especially as a kid having this big gun shooting, stepping on the pedal. The really cool thing with Time Crisis 2 was the co-op element. You could just team... That was something else so fun with Xbox Live... Or, not Xbox Live Arcade. Real arcades is like... I'd be a little kid, but I would just step up and play with some random stranger. And you would just like work together and fun. Cool thing with Time Crisis 2 is like, depending which character you pick, blue or red, you experience the game from the other opposite side. The other
cool thing too is you see your other person you're playing with move into coverage. So like, that's what he's playing, and that was before. Now you think of that when you're playing 4-player co-op. Yeah. You're like, this is what everyone else is doing. But back then that was insane.
It was cool because like it was still scripted, but like you could take turns popping up and shooting bosses because the boss would turn and shoot friend, and like that was just a really fun game. Man, hey, if we find Time Crisis 2
I'll play
tonight,
it.
let's play the whole thing.
I'll play the whole thing.
And then I'll have Josie film it. PSVR is coming out. By the time this episode is up, PSVR will be out. It'll be the first time I have Move controllers, PS Move. So I do want to go on Amazon and buy... There's House of the Dead Overkill for PS3, which is Move compatible. There's some random-ass Time Crisis game that's PS Move compatible. So I do want to buy that. You have mentioned you have Silent Scope. Did you ever get Time Crisis for the home console?
I have Time Crisis 3 on PS2 with the light gun.
How was that?
Was
that cool?
That was really fun. That's probably my favorite Time Crisis one. That gun con got so much use out of it. There was another PS2 game. I forget the name of it.
Was it the vampire one?
No, fuck the vampire. This is cooler.
It was cool.
It was a better Turok where you spawn in this world and all of a sudden you're...
Wait, a better... You just said Turok 2 is 11 out of 10.
Yeah.
Are you saying this game is a 12 out of 10?
Yes. You spawn in a world where there's dinosaurs and everything, and you have this light gun, and on the back it has a D-pad so you can move, and a couple buttons on the side, and you gotta move around, and like you're being hunted by T-Rexes and stuff, and you had to like fend them off. I forget the name of it, but it was a great game because I remember I rented it first, and I only had the DualShock, and I played through it then. I'm like, this is kind of fun. And then I played it with the GunCon later, and I was like, oh my god, this completely enhances the experience on that game. It was like a 7 out of 10, went to a 12 out of 10.
Wow, there you go. Now, how come they don't sell guns to kids anymore with, video games? You can't get that anymore. They don't sell them.
I don't know. We use the Link crossbow
the
training.
Wii U, like... Now, let's just give us more plastic guns with our games. Now we got the fucking PlayStation waggle, but, games are getting more realistic. The peripherals... It's less imagination. Give me a big M16. I want to talk about Las Vegas even more. So, what are the difference between... You live in, like, the suburbs of Vegas.
Yeah.
That's, like, it's, like, 10 minutes away from the Strip. But, like, when tourists come to Vegas, they see the Strip. Okay, big shows, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. You're someone who lives, like, not on the outskirts, but just outside that little bubble. What's it like being a resident of Las Vegas, Nevada?
Honestly, it's pretty boring. There's not really much to do here if you're not into like the clubbing scene or anything like that, or if you're not into like USB artists, like keyboardists who are always here like playing their DJ stuff. Steve Aoki or whatever. He wants to play Street Fighter. I see him on every like Street Fighter stream. Hey, that guy sucks. I'll fucking 1v1 him. But yeah, like I'm not into that stuff.
But the Mandalay Bay does have a cool ass House of Blues. I mean, that's the one cool thing if you live in Las Vegas or LA or New York. If you live in a big city or a big popular city, every band will tour here at some point. Yeah, so you can see any bands are really cool and they're usually here. We used to get IGN used to run IPL, which is a big gaming tournament. That there was IPL 4 and IPL 5. A lot of people, if you're into League of Legends, they always look back onto IPL 5 was the greatest League of Legends tournament of all time. What does it stand for? International Playing League? Something like that. Okay. It was IGN Pro League. Okay, that's what it stood for. Then it should just be IGNPL. Yeah, but you can't have one of the acronyms stand for another acronym. Yeah. But yeah, so that tournament was really cool because they had all these Korean StarCraft 2 players came over. Legends. Then they had League of Legends. They had the best. They had Moscow 5. They had... Is that a game? No, that's the Russian team from 2012, 2013. Yeah, we'll get into this in a second, but Mike is hardcore into the competitive scene. So they had all the best... They had Korean teams. They had the best NA teams at the time. They all came there. They had fighting games were there. They had... The Street Fighter 4 was still there. It was Arcade Edition. Oh, okay. And so they had like Mike Ross was there with Marn and a bunch of other pros, and Justin Wong was there. They were all doing exhibition things. They had a Dare Alive 5 tournament there as well. It was just really cool. There's everywhere you went. You went to check. I went to both. Cool. Yeah, and there was just everywhere you went was competitive. It was in this huge ballroom in the Cosmopolitan. It was a great thing. How does it compare to Evo? To Evo. It was much smaller. Yeah. Evo has been weird. The last couple years, it just keeps getting bigger and bigger, and it's filling up more. And now I remember, I had friends who wanted to go, and the tickets sold out immediately. Yeah, and now it's honestly more like a convention now. Now it's like people go there for the vendors and stuff, and people not just watching. Companies will demo new games and stuff. Yeah, because when Evo used to be, you go to the hotel and you would just be like, all right, let's look for the kids with arcade sticks and follow them because they know where it is. And then you go there and you just walked in. You didn't have to pay for anything. Now you have to buy tickets. Yeah, you just walked in, sat down, and watched the matches. Or you could just, grab a stick and join in and play. Yeah. There was an entry fee if you wanted to enter the tournament, but if you want to play friendlies, you could do whatever. Now you have to pay to get in. You have to pay a $75 fee to compete, which is understandable, but I don't know. It's a lot different than how Evo used to be, and it goes along with like the arcade scene in general. Everything's different now compared to how it used to be, and
I don't like how big it's become, just because I enjoyed how easy it was before. You could just walk in.
Yeah.
You know, it's the same thing as the arcade. You walk, anyone can play. You walk up, you put your quarter on the counter, and that's it. And that's how Evo used to be. But now there's all these Smash kids that are here that are taking all the tickets.
Well, also, like, that's how Comic-Con kind of got to that point where Comic-Con was pretty small. I remember, like, you could register the same day and go down on Saturday and go, and then it got to a point where it was way too big and just whatever. But then, like you said, IPL doesn't do it anymore?
No, they cancel after 5 because IGN, I don't know, lost money or whatever. That site's been dying for a while now.
Okay, whatever. Maybe something else will fill the void. The one, there was like 1 year I was way into Street Fighter 4. Like, I didn't play that competitively where it's like I'd go to tournaments, but like on Xbox Live, I would play nonstop. I had my proudest moment in that. I have like the 20 ranked wins achievement. Oh yeah. So it's like I remember getting that and being like, okay, I can stop because like I was just on fire one day with Guile. I was so proud. But yeah, I think it's fun watching the highest level of people competing. But like I personally would know I'm never gonna be able to have the time to put into something like this, so I'm just not gonna even try. And I have no interest in watching like. And if you're like below like the best, it's just like whatever. Yeah. Sometimes I'll peek into the final match, but that's it. But like. If you're into it, I think it's fun. Does Evo have like a competition to see who can have the most fun?
That's usually what they had a PlayStation All-Stars tournament there 1 year. And
was it for the game?
Yeah, it was before it came out.
Okay.
And there was only like 4 characters that you can play, and that was the winner of that seemed like it was who had the most fun because there's just a bunch of people, just mashing buttons, because everyone else is being all serious with their fighting games, and then all the kids were like, "Oh, hey, what's this PlayStation All-Star game?"
See, like that's what I like, and that's why like I like playing shitty N64 games and stuff like that. Is like, I'm not a competitive player. Anytime I play games like multiplayer, I like doing co-op stuff. I just like playing games with friends and goofing around, having fun. Although, if you want to challenge me to Tony Hawk Pro Skater, I will destroy you. You will not be able to beat me in Horse. That's like my game. Anything else, I like having fun. I'm curious, like, because we're going to go down the list of all the games you're super good at, but like, a question for people who are watching, what is like the game that you're the best at, better than anyone else? For me, I would say Tony Hawk Pro Skater. I'm not like the best in the world, but I am hardcore good at that. We're gonna go. I have a list of all this stuff I want to talk about. What is like what is your game that you went the highest in that you think you are like the best at?
It's a toss up between either
Turok Rage Wars.
No, Call of Duty 4.
Yeah.
Or
so then you're stoked for the remake.
It's either Call of Duty 4 or Rock Band 2 was when I was at my peak.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. What was the first game you took seriously in a competitive sense? What was the first game that you sat down, like, all right, I'm going to get better at this? Or even, like, what was the first time you realized, like, oh, I'm really fucking good at this game?
For me, that moment was Halo.
Halo 1?
Yeah, Halo 1.
Just local deathmatch stuff, or even just doing Legendary?
It was literally just, my local game store was having a tournament, and it was like, hey, if you win, you get a free copy of Halo 2. And me and my brother used to just mess around and play split screen. Yeah. We would just play 1v1 on longest.
Did you screen peek?
Yeah, all the time. All the time. But, so I enter in this tournament, and there's all these older guys there, and like I'm at this time, I don't know, this is before 2014, so I'm not even like of the age of 18. Yeah, or 2004. My bad.
So you're what, like 10?
Something 11? Like that. Yeah. So I go into this tournament. I have to have my brother there as my guardian because he was over 21.
Yeah.
And I'm just playing this tournament, and I get second place in it. I didn't win anything out of it, but then I was like, wait, I was better than a lot of these other guys here. And so then, because I used to not have online, so I would just play games over and over again, play on higher difficulty, or I would handicap myself.
Well, that's the other thing, too. I feel like, with older, back then, if I got a game, I would play that game for a year straight. Yeah. And now it's like, I get like 5 new games a week, like just nonstop. So it's like, I don't put the time into it, but it totally makes that totally makes sense.
So it was with that I realized, like, oh, I'm actually pretty good at this game. Yeah. So then when... I kept playing. I got Call of Duty on my PC a little bit later, and I started playing that online. And I was noticing I was beating people that had high speed internet, and I had a 56K connection. And so I just kept playing that. And then eventually in 2007, when 4 came out, I finally had like broadband internet and everything. And so me and my brother one day were just like, "Fuck it, let's hook it up for Xbox Live," and we did. I remember we set it up, and we spent all day downloading the Burnout Paradise demo. But then when that was done, I was still up. It was like 11 o'clock at night, and I was playing Halo 3. and I was like, this is all right. I'm gonna see what Call of Duty 4 is like. And I turned it on, and my first game, I remember I went positive. I was like 20 and 10 with the default class on Wet Work, which is the nighttime level on the ship where it's raining and everything. You can't see for shit.
Oh, I want to play that on PS4. It's gonna look gorgeous.
Yeah, so I was playing that, and then I was like, this is my game. And I just kept playing it and grinding every day because I was in football that year. And so I finally was done with it. I would get home at like 1:20, and I would have from like 2 o'clock till 10 o'clock to play games. And I was like, oh my god, I can do whatever I want. And I would just every day get home, play Call of Duty 4. And once I hit level 55,
Prestige.
I did Prestige, but I also stared to look for clans. So I went on GameFAQs.
Oh, the best site in the world. There you go.
And
what was your username on GameFAQs?
I had multiple because I kept getting banned because I would always talk shit about like moderators and stuff, and they would ban me. But I remember I had some really lame one that I liked using for my Call of Duty 4 like shit talking. It was like Super Metroid 117 or something like that. Something really lame.
Yeah, that's cool.
And so I went with that, and I remember there was two clans that had open like tryout. One had a tryout, and the other one was just like, hey, if just messages this person, we'll invite you in.
Yeah.
And so I messaged both of them, and the one that didn't have a tryout got back to me first. And
these like fucking job applications.
Yeah, so I started playing with them, and they were a bunch of really cool guys. The clan was called 1S1K, standing for One Shot One Kill. And some of these, the thing is, you're laughing now, but most of these people that I played with then, I still talk to now on a regular basis. I'm like Facebook friends with them. I talk to them all the time. Like I know so much shit about them. They were my first real like internet friends that I made, and that whole game from the moment like we first started just playing as a group and we would just pub stomp everyone. Yeah. But then we're like, yo, let's do game battles, which was an online hosted by MLG website. Where you would...
Oh my god, I remember that. Yeah.
Which, since then, the ladder's finally closed, so you can't look up the stats anymore, which sucks, but we used to be ranked in, like, the 20,000s, sometimes in the lower 10,000s when the ladder would reset and we'd start up. We usually played hardcore Search and Destroy, or just regular Search and Destroy.
They should just call that mode Counter-Strike mode.
They should, but they want to keep it their own. Yeah. But yeah, so we used to play that, and I remember that's when I started realizing, like, whoa, we're actually, like, really good. Not just, like, me as an individual, but as a team, we were good players, and we did get along really well, and we had really good strategies, mainly on S&D. That was our best mode.
Search and Destroy, right?
Yeah, Search and Destroy was our best mode. We had a lot of crazy strats, like fast plants on every map, and smoke points and everything. It was really cool. I really enjoyed playing that game
these high techs.
A lot.
Oh, I hear a siren. Someone's using a Game Shark down there on the strip. How often? No, yeah, Kevin's busting it. Kevin's using
I got no Game Sharks in my collection, too. Let it be known, I didn't have a Game Genie or Game Shark or any of that.
There you go. The thing with me why I stopped playing Street Fighter 4 competitively, like on Xbox Live Ranked, is it got to a point where when I would lost, I would get mad and it wasn't fun anymore. Mm-hmm. So like I'll play games and if I like them, the moment it goes from like I take it too seriously where it's not fun, I stop. So it sounds like you got pretty far with Call of Duty, and obviously you still like it, but like it seems like that like clan like companionship and like just talking to friends, that's what makes it fun. Do you still have fun whenever you're like even deep competitively into it?
Yeah, because my whole thing is I don't care if I lose the game. I just care that I'm top on my team. Okay. That's the secret.
So that's why Mike likes playing with all my friends. Yeah. He's always number one.
I don't care who I'm playing with. I don't care how badly my team loses. As long as I'm on the top on my team and I'm positive, I'm fine.
I feel like that's kind of
it's a really selfish way of thinking.
No,
it fit the role that I played because in Call of Duty 4 my role was considered, it's called a Slayer, which you're just meant to go around and kill everyone.
I like that. It's funny that like you're signing like MMORPG titles. But what are the different roles in competitive Call of Duty?
Okay, so in competitive Call of Duty, there's the Slayer, which is your star player kind of. Well, now they're considered the star player. They run around, they get all the kills in team deathmatch game modes, but in slower game modes where you only have one life, they're pretty much your guy that's going to go off and get like 2 or 3 kills. You have an anchor, which anchor means you use an assault rifle and you sit in the back behind your team. Yeah. And that's usually like the worst player. Yeah. But they're meant for in game modes where there's a respawn. Say that it's King of the Hill and a hill pops up on one side of the map. Your anchor sits in the back of that spawn point. So your team will always have the good spawn, and his job is to stay alive and not really rack up kills, but to just keep the point. And then when the hill's gonna move, he will have to push with his team to flip the spawn so they could get the next best spawn point.
This is the fun stuff I like with like when you look into high level play. Is like all this terminology. It's like thinking about Call of Duty. It's like, oh, that makes sense. And it's like, yeah, as the regular person jumping in matchmaking, they don't know any of that.
Yeah,
and that's what like pub stomping, as you say, like. That's even like when I'm just with my Skype friends. Yeah, if we all group up and join a match, we just destroy it. It's so much fun. Because so many people, they just hit quick match. So it's like on Call of Duty, we just join as one team, we destroy it. It's fun.
Yeah, and then there's the objective player, who he's usually the guy who's designated to keep the flag, keep the bomb in search and destroy, or he's always going to be the man on the hill. So that's 3 of your 4, and then your 4th player is usually a SMG player or someone who can just run around with the Slayer and kind of keep everything in line with everyone, so he kind of wrangles the group around together. So some teams have like 2 anchors. Is
there a designated rule for like the cute one?
No. There was a team where a guy, he had to take these pills. I forget what they're called, but they help you concentrate better. And so he started Adderall, yeah.
Jesus.
So if you're an Adderall player, you can help your teammates because there's footage of this guy in a tournament. He gave Adderall to all of his other teammates, and there's footage of them popping the pills.
Did he get disqualified for that?
Nope, they won the tournament and they did not get disqualified. If you go to Counter-Strike 2, Counter-Strike players are famous for doping with Adderall too. Back in 1.6,
half of them are all like Russian too. Yeah.
So Adderall is a big thing. Doping is a thing that happens in esports, at least in Counter-Strike and Call of Duty.
We need to get our players tested
for Adderall.
What about Mountain Dew? That's okay.
And Doritos? Yeah, no, that's all good. That's fair game.
Gamer Fuel?
And Red Bull too. Red Bull's
I've seen the Red Bull or Adderall. Jesus.
Yeah. So yeah.
And then like that's another thing too, because there's half the people in Call of Duty are on Adderall. The other half are doing anything. That's the one thing I love with, like, I think Xbox Live and anything in particular. All the kids whose gamer tags are like X-Bong Stoner 420. So half the people are on Adderall, half are on weed, and so they just have this really mishmash.
It's a great community.
Yeah,
you should join it.
So I was gonna ask 2 questions about that. One, what do you say has the worst community? Just in terms of like objectively, like just like honestly, like because anyone could say, oh, this is the worst, this is the worst, this is the worst. But like really, what do you think is just like the sloppiest, even just like where even the top players are just vicious and mean and just negative. Like,
vicious.
For me,
and mean?
For me, video games fun. I want stuff to be fun. So, what do you, in your opinion, is just like the worst community where it's like this is all just like I don't want any part of this?
Honestly, probably either the Call of Duty community or I don't want to say fighting games like FGC because FGC gets a lot of flack, but they're really cool.
Is that a league or a tournament?
FGC is just the fighting game community as a whole across all fighting games. Cool. But I don't want to like put them on blast because they're really not. There's only a few bad apples here and there, but that's what seems to get promoted.
Yeah,
the Call of Duty team or Call of Duty community as a whole was really bad with just everyone hating each other and everyone calling each other out. There's a lot of players that still have bad blood between other top pros, and that's why they don't team.
This kind of stuff happens in regular sports too. Like there's rivalries.
So I'd say Call of Duty probably, and maybe I'd say the League of Legends community in general is really toxic. Just because like I've never been insulted so much playing a game.
I think the thing with League of Legends is there's no you don't have to pay to play. So it's just all them. Just people just will go like 12-year-olds or whatever, just going just like fuck you, like all this crazy stuff. And it's like I don't want any of that.
My favorite insult that I ever got while playing League of Legends was
I'm trying to think of mine.
I was playing and my role in League of Legends was AD carry, which stands for attack damage carry, which is I'm the range damage of the team. And I had the first pick in our rank game, and the guy who was last pick wanted to play my role, and I told him that he needs to respect the pick order because that's what you need to do. And so I go to lock in my AD carry, and this guy just tells me, "I hope you have a really happy life, and that in the happiest moment in your life, you die with cancer." And I was like, you know what? You deserve it. So I swapped characters with him, and I became his support for the rest of the game. And we ended up smashing the enemy lane that we played against. And I realized that guy was actually better than me. But yeah, that guy. So yeah, shouts out to him.
How happy are you tonight?
Tonight,
the happiest moment, I don't want you to get cancer. Let's
have some negativity. All right,
let's have some negativity. Yeah. Just I don't want you to die just yet. Yeah. That one thing. Okay, so like the cancer thing. When it comes to internet insults, like I feel like cancer's kind of phased out. It used to be a thing. Everyone calls each other fags. One of my all-time favorite clips on the internet. There's some. I'll just let you tell the story because you know the terminology. There's this clip on YouTube. No, it's not on YouTube. Someone's at a Call of Duty tournament.
Oh yeah.
And like it's the last second, he wins. This kid stands up. Yeah, go home, you fucking fag.
Yeah.
And everyone around him's like, whoa.
You're like, whoa, that's too far.
Whoa, yeah.
Yeah. So it was Team Caliber. One of their players, he pretty much clutches out a hardpoint game, which is King of the Hill essentially, to where it's mathematically impossible for the other team to win. He gets up and starts yelling at the other team. Because I guess he had bad blood between them or whatever, calls them a fucking fag, and then everyone's just like, immediately taken aback by it. He then gets kicked off that team later from it, and then joins a new team, Echo Fox, which I think he's doing pretty good on right now.
There you go. I'll link that video in the comments below. Yeah, I mean, because that used to be like the joke for a decade, is like kids going on Xbox Live calling each other the F word, and then like the N word, stuff like that. Now the new word is like cuck. That's replaced.
Cuck and cuckold. In League of Legends right now, the term is boosted bobo, I think. Or
what is that?
It stands for, it's a type of monkey or something. So it means you're boosted animal, which streamers and all that got that. So pretty much in League, you have a ranking system.
Boosted bobo is what I order at Jamba Juice.
Oh, okay.
I get a boosted bobo.
People like call it you're a boosted animal if they think you're at a higher rank than you deserve to be. So they think you like paid for it, or like you were a boosted kid and all. Bunch of dumb terminology in there.
I mean, like I got really into Counter-Strike Go for a little bit. Some random person on Steam messaged me like when I was playing. He's like, hey, do you want to join my friends? And so I was playing with 4 of these guys who are hardcore, and they taught me everything it's been a while, but like they just kind of taught me how to play competitively Counter-Strike Go. I got really into it for a month, and like I was playing with these guys who were so good, and then when they weren't on, I'd still want to play. My rank was so high, I didn't know what the hell I was doing. And everyone's like, what the hell are you doing? Whatever.
That's me every 6 months. I'll randomly get urged to play Counter-Strike, and I have to redo my placements.
I hate that they did that.
I get put in a really high matchmaking because my original skill when I used to play with my friends was really high, and then people would be like, Foxhound, what the hell are you doing? I'm like, whoa, I don't know, like I'm covering this flank or something like that. And then I just immediately get headshotted when I walk around the corner, and I'm like, well, that was fun, and then I don't play for another 6 months, and so my rank slowly has been decaying because of that.
Are there like clans that do surf maps?
I don't know. I would hope so. There's some like King Surfer where they just have like a surf train. Yeah. That'd be pretty sick.
There you go. What would you say is like the most heated you've been playing? Like, what's the angriest you've ever been playing?
Oh, angriest I've been was actually not even at Call of Duty. It was probably Guitar Hero 3. Yeah. I was trying to 5-star every song in the game on Expert. Oh, and I couldn't do Raining Blood because I kept messing up a really easy part, and I was like 5,000 note points, which that's like 1 note on Expert pretty much off of the cutoff. Yeah. So I got so mad that I kicked my wall.
Oh my god!
Like my foot didn't break the wall or anything, but like that was the most mad I've ever got. I usually don't get mad at games. Like I don't try not to throw controllers or anything anymore. Because when I was a little kid with my N64, I used to throw controllers all the time and break them.
I've spiked a controller.
Yeah, too and I didn't know like now I understand like the how much a controller and everything costs and how much it sucks to replace that. So when I was a little kid, I probably got more angry, but I don't remember much of that. But that was the angriest I remember recently. Since then, usually if I start feeling like I'm getting like that, I just stop playing.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it is. Is like, I don't get angry. If anything in my life happens that's like, just like tough, I don't get angry, I just laugh. My instinct is just to laugh. Or I'll be stressed and sad, but I don't get like angry. Yeah, Like even competitively, video games are still, that's my hideout. That's where I go away to get away from anger and everything. Yeah. So even if I could be playing a league match and I could be getting completely like destroyed, and I'll feel like shit, like, we lost, but it's not going to make me get mad. I'm not going to smash the keyboard over it. Yeah, I've never been angry in terms of, like, something in a video game. I've been angry because of the result of video games. Twice in my life, someone in my family, I think, there was one day I came home from school, I was, like, maybe in 5th or 6th grade, and all of my video game magazines and strategy guides were thrown away. They were, like, cleaning the house, and it's like, oh, Frank doesn't use this anymore, threw it away. And that, like, this was kind of before broadband internet. Yeah. I used to be on those video game magazines all the time. I would go through old pictures and, like, cut stuff out, put it on the walls. And, like, I loved my video game magazines. And then one day they were thrown away. And I was, like, I don't know, I was angry. I was so sad. Like, that and it sucks because I'm now doing this show about video game collections. Like, a lot of my collection was stuff that was, like, thrown away. And it makes me so, like, not angry, but sad. But in the moment, I was like, I hate you, Mom. Or whatever. Like, and then same thing happened with my N64, I think. I had new systems. Oh, Frank doesn't use this anymore. And then, like, it was either thrown away. I, don't know what happened to it. But those are just the wounds I have to carry with me through my life. But yeah, I don't know. I don't get angry. People in the comments below, do you ever get angry at video games? If so, why? But like, what's made you really angry? And then
I mean, it's probably gonna just be a bunch of like, GTA RC car missions and bullshit. All that like internet stuff that everyone always complains about.
I guess that's it. Yeah, I don't get angry through multiplayer games. It's like
it's single player.
Connor is the best example of this.
Yeah.
But like,
it's because everyone's hacking when they play against him.
But like, single player, if a mission is just like badly designed, or if a game is if a game is like genuinely shitty, and with the San Andreas that like. The airplane mission, it was just like, it wasn't tested very well. The limits were, it's way too hard. Yeah, if a game is just like antiquated or just something wrong with it, it's like, well, fuck this isn't fun.
Yeah,
I'll just get off. Yeah, but so if something ever crosses to not being fun, I just stop. There you go. We added some negativity, so now Mike is not going to get cancer. One thing you told me about, you said you were on a McDonald's sponsored competitive gaming team?
Yeah. So our Call of Duty 4 team, at one point in our
shot,
clan,
one kill.
Yeah, at one point we split. It was a subgroup of that clan where we felt that we weren't going anywhere with the current group that we had. So we're like, let's make a smaller team, a side team, and we're gonna play a different ladder, so it wouldn't be going against our other clan. And so it was a smaller team with shout out to my friend Jangalion11. He's probably not gonna watch this, but if he does. He was the one who got us the McDonald's sponsorship.
How do you get that hookup?
Because he works at McDonald's.
Whoa.
And he was a McManager there. He still is.
Did they call him McManager?
I call him McManager. And
hey, that's a good gamer tag.
And so he got us a hookup because he had his friend had a paintball team that got like a sub sponsorship with McDonald's.
A Subway?
It got sponsored by McDonald's. Like they got the McDonald's to sponsor them.
Yeah.
So he was like, "Oh, why can't I get that for our Call of Duty?"
Damn, he did that hustle.
So we did that.
Did you get anything from McDonald's? Like
no,
gift cards?
we didn't get anything. Okay. We ended up actually leaving that team and going back because it became this huge like inter clan drama, that fallout that happened. But now we're all cool and everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, at the time we were Inverted Karma. It was his band name that he was gonna have his band. So yeah, we changed Inverted Karma, IVK, capitalized I, lowercase v, capitalized K.
You gotta make it look sick.
Yeah, you gotta make it look legit. You gotta get sick with it.
Sick with it.
Yeah. So we went up and played Hardcore Search and Destroy and Hardcore Team Deathmatch was the ladder that we were in, and we did pretty well in there. We lost a bunch because that ladder was way more serious.
Did you ever compete with any other fast food sponsored teams?
No, we didn't. I think we were the only sponsored team on that ladder.
Damn. I'm gonna tweet at all the fast food social media accounts and see if I can get the show sponsored. I want the show to be sponsored by McDonald's.
Yeah, have like a nice little Subway like thing.
Yeah,
right
if you work at Subway, just ask your manager. Be like, hey, can you get a sponsorship? Even if you're just a low level employee, not even corporate. Yeah, send me like one of those like Subway punch cards. Where it's like buy 6 Subway sandwiches, get the 7th free. If you have one that's filled out, send it to me, and then I'll claim the 7th one.
Oh, you'll fill it out for me.
Yeah, I'll fill it out for
you. You're such a nice guy.
Yeah. I'll hook up. That's how the world works. It's funny, like, when we started playing with you, like, on Skype talking, we would laugh, not necessarily at you, but, like, because you knew so much about this, like, fucking, this world.
Yeah.
Like, all the terminology, like, I mean, there's quick scope, but like, what?
Head glitching.
There's
drop shot.
Drop shot. Yeah. That was it. I remember we made like drop shot Tony. Yeah. There's all these always drop shotting. All these like terminologies. Like, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
And then you've been you're starting to become a film producer. You have plans. For this new one.
So I'm gonna make a montage. It's gonna be edited by you.
Yeah.
For a Modern Warfare remastered. I cannot wait. We're gonna have some sick clips. Sir Grizz, one of the greatest snipers, is gonna have a lot of watch out. I think it's going to rival the Call of Duty 4 Matrix trilogy. I got some big plans here.
Yeah, Mike was telling me, like, Frank, you edit, right? And, like, I was like, yeah. And he's like, oh, can you do a montage video? And we started talking about, like, I knew this was a thing that existed on YouTube, but Mike started sending me all these reference videos of montage, and it's like, this is such a weird subgenre of YouTube.
So when Call of Duty first came around, it wasn't taken serious as an esport at all, because Counter-Strike dominated that, and everyone was like, oh, that's a kid's game, Call of Duty 4.
It was very arcadey, too.
Yeah, it didn't have many pro tournaments either. There was like 1 or 2 for Call of Duty 4. It wasn't until Modern Warfare 2 and Black Ops 1 where it finally got...
Modern Warfare 2 was like legit.
To be serious. So what there was, though, in YouTube, it was huge. And so there was a big thing was sniping. Optic Gaming was the first big clan to jump on that sniping bandwagon where they're like, we're going to use only sniper rifles because they're technically the hardest weapon in the game to use when you go up against a person with a regular gun.
What about like a knife?
Well, the knife was just a melee. It was panic button.
What about a pistol?
Pistols were stronger technically because you could fan the trigger and do rapid fire.
What's fan the trigger? Is that just...
Yeah, you can either paintball it with like 2 fingers, or you play like how I did. I kind of played claw, and I would just fan my whole hand to rapid fire.
The coolest thing I ever learned going to the arcades here in Las Vegas, I remember going to GameWorks, and one time I saw this hardcore guy playing House of the Dead.
Oh, did he put his hand in between the trigger?
So there's 2 cool tips. Hey, here's some tips for, even though arcades are dead, here's some cool cool tips to impress your friends in the arcade. One is when you're holding the gun con, shoot, you go like, is that called fanning it?
Yeah, kind of.
Or you just go, so instead of like going like 1, 2, 3, you just go doing that, and then putting your finger over put your finger over it to reload. I saw that and I was like,
you just do your hand real quick.
So I would see people do that instead of pointing out of the screen, and I was like, whoa. If you did that in real life, you'd shoot your hands off.
Yeah, you can't do that.
But yeah, that's the cool thing I miss about arcades is like, I guess now you go on YouTube, you go on message boards, that stuff travels immediately. But it was fun going to arcades, especially playing games in the 90s, going over to a friend's house or going to the arcade and just within your community, someone finding something out about a game. Yeah. Like the first time I went to an arcade and someone selected like Shadow, Sakura or whatever, like selecting secret characters from Marvel vs. Capcom. I was like, what the hell is that? I didn't know. Yeah. And just like seeing that shit was so cool. But yeah, I saw someone go like, I was like, whoa, that blew my mind.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're gonna make a sick montage video. We're excited for what's it called, Infinite Warfare?
Infinite Warfare beta comes out this Friday for if you have a PlayStation. So pre-order on Amazon, then cancel your pre-order, get that free beta code.
This episode's probably not gonna come out till like the following Monday.
All right, well then it's already out. It was a great beta, everybody. I hope we all liked it. I can't wait to get some more boots on the ground Call of Duty because I don't want no Infinite Warfare.
It's funny because it's like I'm kind of excited for the space shit. Like the graphics look good. I have a friend who worked on the game. I'll play Modern
Warfare Remastered.
I'll play Modern Warfare with Mike. Yeah, I'm excited. We'll have fun with it. Are there any other good shooters you want to talk about before we wrap this up and go into emails?
Good shooters. All right, so Brothers in Arms, great shooter.
Sounds good. Made by the Gearbox people.
Yeah, Gearbox. Call of Duty, as always, the great shooters. Doom, always been good. Doom 3 was my favorite, even over the reboot.
What are some like specific like multiplayer shooters that you played? I'm trying, like Time Splitters. I love.
Oh, I didn't like Time Splitters.
I love Time Splitters. I mean, for me, my lineage of like playing first-person shooters online, Counter-Strike 1.6, super cool. Return to Castle Wolfenstein on Xbox. That's where I met like one of my best friends, James. Yeah, I love Return to Castle Wolfenstein. It had all the class-based stuff like that TF2 brought, like medics and stuff like that. Halo 2 I spent a lot of time with. I really loved Halo 2. And then 360 generation, like, I guess Call of Duty. But I feel like I don't know.
For me, it was when I was on the original Xbox, Unreal Championships, which is an Unreal Tournament knockoff.
Oh, I played, Unreal Tournament on PC. Yeah. I was never, like, great enough to, like, go step, but I love playing against bots.
Unreal Tournament is my all-time, like, probably favorite shooter.
Oh, I love that
So
game.
It goes, like... I started with Unreal Tournament, then I moved to Halo.
I played it on Dreamcast by myself.
Yeah, I played Quake 3 Arena on Dreamcast by myself, too. And then I moved on to Call of Duty and Halo. Halo Reach was probably my favorite of the Halo series. Went to Call of Duty. Then, I don't know, that's really about it, honestly. Then I guess Overwatch now, but I don't like... The main thing why I like Call of Duty is if you're not playing competitively, if I'm playing a public match, I can carry on my own. Yeah. But in games like Overwatch, you can't really solo carry because it's so much about team play, which that's cool and that's its own thing. But when I'm playing a first-person shooter, a lot of the time I just want to get in, get a gun, and then just destroy people. Yeah. And then, pretty much you just want to showboat. Like, that's all it is. You want to show, hey, I'm this much better than everyone else in the server right now. And you can't really do that on... Like, in Overwatch, you get play of the game and all that, but those are team-based arena shooters aren't like that, or they're not built around that. And that's why even MOBAs, like League of Legends, used to be all about that. In Season 2, Season 3, you can just, by yourself, carry the game, and then now it's turning into a team-based game and all that. Like, it's meant to be... So, I don't know. For me, FPSs, I like Call of Duty and Halo because even if you're playing a public game, you can just go off and carry it and be the one-man show, technically. It kind of all goes back to wrestling. You always want to be Stone Cold or The Rock. You don't want to be, some random guy who needs his tag team. Yeah, you don't need your. You don't want to have to rely. Yeah.
I'm always fascinated with achievements and stuff like that. Was there any like achievement or platinum trophy you're really proud of getting? Anything that's really deep or weird or obscure?
Okay, Ninja Gaiden Master Ninja mode completed on the Vita version of Ninja Gaiden. Jesus. Master Ninja. Shout out to my friend Soa Frico because he was the one who gave me the awesome tip on one of the bosses. You can straight up just jump in the lava and kill it before it does any of its moves. I didn't know that. I always played it legit, and so I always got wrecked. Also another one, the Iron Bladder Trophy, which is do the Rock Band 2 endless set list without pausing, and I did it on expert.
Did you switch it to someone else? You just did
I played the whole thing. I had two bags. I had 2 bags of gummy bears and nothing to drink.
What's the gummy bear thing?
I wanted gummy bears so I could eat and I need to get energy. I had to do the endless set list 4 times. I needed to get it for my platinum icons. I needed the trophies, and the first time I did the endless set list, my batteries ran out, so I had to redo it to get the trophy again. As for platinums, I don't really know what my most like hardcore platinum is that I really enjoy, because I just got into platinum trophy collecting. Before it was 360 achievements, and I had all like the Halo Gears of 1 had Gears of War Seriously 2.0, and Gears 2. I had a lot of full completed games there.
Do you have the Avatar achievements?
No, I don't think so.
The Avatar: The Last Airbender is infamous because it's like...
Oh, yeah, I know. I never ran to that.
all 1,000 achievements in
See, I was an achievement whore, but I wouldn't stoop to that level. Yeah. Though my brother did randomly rent me Terminator Salvation. I felt a little dirty playing it, where I didn't beat it.
I have a friend who got all the achievements. He said that game sucks.
Yeah.
One other quick question I have for you. This is really an interesting subject. So, you are deaf in one ear, correct?
Yeah.
The left one?
Yeah, my left ear.
How did that happen, if it's okay to ask?
When I was like 2 or 3, my parents like blew up a party popper in my left ear, and so I've been deaf ever since. I can't really hear that well out of it. Yeah. So yeah, it makes competitive gaming interesting.
That's what I want to ask about, because like it's so funny how like these terms, but yeah, sound whoring.
Oh yeah,
that's the academic term. Yeah. Like sound whoring's a thing, and I remember when I got like good headphones, like playing Call of Duty and stuff, I was like, whoa, you can actually.
Especially Call of Duty 4, you make so much noise if you don't have the perk that silences your sounds.
So yeah, how like you are good at Call of Duty in those games. How does having like only one audio channel affect that? I mean,
it makes me have to have what's called game sense, which is I know what's going to happen and I can predict what's going to happen seconds before it happens. Yeah. So like in Call of Duty 4, I know, because I've played this map so many times, I know there's always going to be someone that'll hide in this corner and this corner. So when I go in, I don't have to listen for them. I just immediately pre-aim or pre-fire.
You're like John Wick.
Yeah, and so I go in and I clear the room systematically, and that's how I play.
Just like John Wick.
Yeah.
You peek in the spots. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so I have to rely more on like it reflexes an instinct to play rather than other people who can sound horror and hear things. Because like I'll be playing Counter-Strike and I'll be the last one alive, and my teammates will be like, "Oh, he's on your left," and then one guy will say he's on my right, and I would just hear him on my right side. So I go the wrong way half the time.
That's the thing is, so it's like, do you have your computer set up so it's just every sound channel is coming to your right ear?
No, I still have it on both because I can hear somewhat. It's not intelligible. Like I can't really understand it. So every now and then, if it's really loud, it is on my left, and then I'll turn and get him. But sometimes, if it's a faint sound, I won't be able to hear it.
So yeah, because like I know like early Xbox Live headsets, they would only be one ear, so you would just wear it on the right.
I had to wear it on the right. I had to flip the mic.
That's what I was gonna say. It's because it was made to left. Cool. Some other quick questions. So, what have you been playing lately? I got Mike into World of Warcraft. Someone on the last episode commented that I should lose my belly. Well, tell Blizzard to take down their WoW servers. World of Warcraft came out with a new expansion last month. Messed up my productivity in daily life. I'm just now starting to get like bored of it, but like for like 2 months we've been playing World of Warcraft. Yeah. So I've talked about WoW on my episode or on this show a lot, but like I played WoW on and off for like a decade. Mike, how did you avoid ever playing WoW?
In 2004 when it came out, there was a bunch of nerds in my school that only played WoW or they would play RuneScape, and I was like, I'm cool. I play Halo and I play Call of Duty. I don't need none of that nerd shit. Yeah. And so my whole life I was like, oh, that's for nerds. I don't need to play that. And then recently, when I started, the first MMO I ever played was Final Fantasy 14.
I might once I come back from Vegas, I might get back into it
okay, good. Because I started a healer in WoW, and it's fun, but I'm just like I'd rather be a white mage.
Yeah, I'm down to do it. Yeah. So like, you've heard so much about WoW. There's been the South Park episode. WoW is a totally different game now than when it was. They made it very simple, which is I'm totally fine with. I don't have the time, but like, what do you think of it overall?
I like that I have the dragon from Dragon Ball Z as my mount.
Oh yeah.
I like that I could play as.
Wait, how'd you get that?
If you go to our guild vendor, you can buy it for 3,000 gold. Yeah.
Remind me later.
All right.
I'm gonna get that. Even though I'm probably done with the game. Remind me.
So I just fly around in that thing.
The Nimbus, yeah.
I like with the rogue class. I'm essentially Katarina, my like second favorite League of Legends character. So I really like that because I just like playing rogue. Beyond that, it's fun questing and doing dungeons with friends and everything.
Yeah, I mean, that's the key thing with friends. With friends, any game is fun. While it's perfect with friends, by yourself, it's just like, whatever.
Yeah, well, by myself, I just constantly get bored, and I just have to be in Discord with other people talking. If not, I just, like, don't have any fun. Because the story in it, it's not as cool as Final Fantasy. And I don't know, to me, the world of Final Fantasy is so much more, draws me to it than WoW did.
Well, also, like, this is, like, nerdy to say, but it's like, yeah, with Final Fantasy, you have that, like, Japanese aesthetic. There's, like, deliberately, like, just cute kawaii shit in it. And, like, yeah there's just that, like, I don't know, again, it's the Final Fantasy world. So there's chocobos, there's, you know, all those, like, characters, cactars.
And I also didn't grow up playing the Warcraft games or really any Blizzard game. The only Blizzard game I played when I was little was Diablo
Vikings?
2.
Vikings?
No, Diablo 2. So I don't really have an attachment to that whole, you know.
Yeah, the lore. I don't care about any of it. Like, I do like it's a fun game and I love it. But yeah, like, I'm way more into the Final Fantasy stuff.
That being said, though, Hearthstone's amazing. And I played that before I got into any WoW or anything related. So in WoW and the new expansion, when they started showing Hearthstone characters, I was into that.
Yeah, I downloaded Hearthstone on my phone, tried it for a second. I didn't...
Did your phone like heat up and just felt like it was gonna burn in your pocket?
I just don't care about card games. Like,
really, it's like a cheaper, shittier version of Yu-Gi-Oh and Magic, but like it's easy to pick up and play.
Shittier version of Yu-Gi-Oh.
That's what everyone described it to me as. And I was like, okay, cool.
Are you getting PSVR?
I want to, but I'm not getting it at launch.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I have it pre-ordered. By the time this episode's out, I will have it.
I want to play Until Dawn.
Yeah, I did pre-order that. I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to treat it as a toy. I'm not expecting to play it for 100 hours or anything, but I have my fingers crossed. It's been semi-sketchy reviews. People saying the tracking doesn't work as well. Yeah. We'll see. If nothing else, I want to try out cinematic mode. So that's where you just put it on. You can simulate a screen so you can watch Netflix or play like The Witcher 3. I just want to lie in my bed and just play that shit.
You mean Dead or Alive Extreme 3?
Oh, yeah. You can play that too.
Okay.
What other games are you looking forward to? Gears of War?
Not really. I'm looking forward to playing Tomb Raider.
Okay.
Later tomorrow, essentially. I can't wait for Tomb Raider. Then Call of Duty Remastered.
Yeah, I'll get
Persona 5.
Oh, yeah,
I cannot wait. What's it called? Horizon: A New Dawn.
That's gonna be sick.
The new anime weeaboo shit, Fate, whatever. They're making a Muso, or however you pronounce that game, of the Fate Stay Night anime. One of my friends was telling me about that. He's really into that, but I was like, yo, I'll play that. So I'm down with that. Any new Vocaloid game that comes out with Hatsune Miku, because I like my rhythm games. The Rock Band expansion that comes out later this month, I'm really looking forward to, because it's finally going to have the online versus mechanic in there, where you play against other people's bands and high scores.
Oh, that's fun. I'm looking forward to Dragon Quest Builder.
Oh, yeah, that comes out tonight.
Yeah, I love Dragon Quest Heroes. I actually platinumed that game. I just like with Final Fantasy, the world of Dragon Quest, that art, the Dragon Ball Z, I love that art style. It's super cute. The slimes, the music, like 100% into that. I've never really gotten into Minecraft, so it's like, I feel like I can like enjoy that stuff with the Dragon Quest world. I'm not expecting to spend 100 hours on it, but like that'll be cool to get.
From what I heard with that game, if you're not into Minecraft, you'll love that. That's what everyone's been telling me. They're like, yeah, I couldn't get into Minecraft, but I love Dragon Quest Builders. I guess because there's an actual like story and progression of things you need to do.
I need progression in a game. Yeah. Okay, great. I'm sold on that. Lastly, I real fast want to review Shadow Warrior. Did you play the new Shadow Warrior, the 2013 one?
Yeah, I just actually bought it on Steam the other day. It was like $2 or something.
Great. So I want to say, if you can get Shadow Warrior cheap, I'd recommend it. Like, graphics are really pretty, kind of like Doom, where it's like fast gameplay, really fun. It is over long though. Like halfway through the game, I was like, okay, it's really fun the first 5 hours, and then it's just like the same shit over and over. It's Polish made. Some of the level design is like really stupid. I would say,
it's really old school.
Yeah.
It reminds me of those older FPS games where you're like, I don't know where to go, and you walk up to every door, mashing the action button.
That's what happened to me. And like as soon as that was happening, it happened multiple times, and it's like, this just like the level design isn't that great. Yeah. But that said, the first like 4 hours, I was having so much fun. Yeah. So if you can get it for $2, play the first few levels. I would say like if maybe you play every once in a while. It looks gorgeous on my computer.
Yeah.
Because I just finally got a 144 hertz monitor, so I'm playing it at like the fastest frame rate. It did make me sick to my stomach. So I again looked up this nerd computer stuff, but I changed the FOV slider.
Oh yeah.
Because when you go from console to PC, especially 144 frames, on console everything's pretty squished up, so they can save the frame rate. So when it was playing Shadow Warrior, it was still squished up. My stomach was getting hurt, moving so fast. So I made it like more fisheye, and now it's like, I don't know, it's not as like, I don't feel as sick.
Yeah, no, I remember having to do that for Counter-Strike when I was trying to get into that competitively.
Yeah, FOV slide. That's like, that's trippy stuff.
Oh, also, I forgot to mention, Final Fantasy 15 and The Last Guardian, I'm excited to be disappointed by both of those games. I have the special edition for both of them pre-ordered, and I can't wait to be disappointed by them.
I know that you're also a big fan of Final Fantasy 13 and Lightning.
Oh, yeah. Final Fantasy 13 is the best Final Fantasy game ever made. I don't care what anyone says. I love that game and its story. Final Fantasy 13 2 is probably second. Lightning Returns, that'll be like fifth. Then Final Fantasy 4, my god, I played that on the Vita, the Final Fantasy Complete collection of that.
Yeah.
That is one of the greatest games I've ever played. Like, that story, everything with Cecil, like, oh, I love it. And Final Fantasy 6, you know, Kefka and all that.
Yeah, 6 is awesome.
Can't get better than those.
If you play 12?
Yeah, I can't wait for the remake.
That's going to be sick, too. There you go, another Lightning fan in the house. Yeah, I like... Final Fantasy 13, I think, was the second Final Fantasy I played.
Really? It was the first one for me.
Oh, man. I played Final Fantasy 7. Oh, this is cool. Played 13. This is alright, this is fun. And then I played 12, and then Lightning Returns. I was like, alright, it's cheese, whatever. I got it cheap.
Well, actually, it's the second one, because I bought 12 a couple months before 13 to get ready for 13. I don't know why I did that.
Yeah, you don't need to play it sequentially.
Yeah, and so I played that, and I really enjoyed 12, and then I didn't beat it, went and did 13. I have almost every trophy in that game. I even have one of like the hardest ones for completing all the missions.
Yeah,
that was fun. Yeah, I like it. I loved how linear it was. Like that's everyone's complaint, and I loved it because I was like, oh, okay, I'm not missing anything. My character's perfectly leveled. I don't have to grind. Do any of that. It was the perfect entry point in my opinion for that too. Everyone says, oh, there's a Final Fantasy for everyone. I agree with that. Yeah. But to a point, that one is like the best entry level. If you're like me, I'm not good at RPGs. I'm really good at skill-based games, but when it comes to a game where it's like, oh, just pick the thing that works the best.
Yeah,
are
there any drop shots or quick scopes?
No, there's none of that. And at least in Final Fantasy 8, you hit the right trigger, so I had that to rely on, but I can't do that in Final Fantasy 13, so I had to just get good the old way.
There you go. Mike says Final Fantasy 13 is the only one you need to play.
Yeah.
So there you go. All right, well, we'll take a look at what's in my email folder. This email comes from Nathan. This is an old one, but I saved it for someone who's into first-person shooters. He asks, what is your favorite or most memorable weapon in a video game?
Oh my god. Okay, so most memorable weapon, easily Turok 2, the cerebral bore.
What the?
It was a weapon where it was later in the game, so you had to like quickly dispatch...
What's the subtitle for Turok 2? Seeds of Evil?
Seeds of Evil.
Okay.
So you'd fire this bow, it would have to lock on the enemy's head, and it would shoot a disc that would go inside the head, and it would cut out their brain, and then their head would like fall off. Mm-hmm. And there you go. It was cerebral bore because it cut off their whole cerebral cortex and all that.
What other sick ass weapons?
Other sick ass weapons. Well, you have to mention the BFG from Doom. Like, anytime you always got to go with that. I really like the DMR from Halo Reach because it was like the first game that had Bloom in the Halo world.
Is that the assault rifle? What's the DMR?
It was the designated marksman rifle, which was the single shot weapon from Reach. It had a little scope, so you had a 4x zoom with it. That one was really cool because that game, you really need to worry about like your spacing on your shots and everything. I really like that. Call of Duty, never forget the MP5, one of the greatest weapons of all time.
That's like the old World War II Call of Duty, right?
No, this is Call of Duty 4.
Okay.
World War II, we're going to use the BAR. This is going to be for any World War II game. I like the BAR and the MP44.
Postal 2 had goofy stuff, like you could pee, but you had the gasoline can and match. For its time, like the physics of that was like cool. The idea that you could just like set fire trails. South Park had good weapons.
You get the chicken and you start shooting people. I remember that.
So with South Park, you pee on a snowball and throw it. There's also the Terrence and Phillip fart bombs. Those are really cool. Plasma sword in Halo 2. That's generally really dope. When that stuff came out, like. Because in original Halo, everyone would run for the rocket launcher. Halo 2, either the rocket launcher or the plasma sword. And I was so good at that, just chaining kills.
Oh, yeah. Quick one. My favorite weapon of all time out of any FPS game, flat cannon, Unreal Tournament. That was my weapon. If I had the flat cannon,
is that like the shotgun, or is it?
It was the one that fired the like shotgun pellets.
Yeah, that was.
And then the alt fire was it would lob a grenade, so you could kind of lob a grenade around corners, or you could like aim the flak around at a wall, so bank off and snipe someone. I used to love that weapon. I got really good with the flat cannon.
I also really liked the karate chop in GoldenEye.
It
was just absurd because it was like literally karate chop. It was so stupid. Not punching, but.
I always like dual-wielding P90s and rocket launchers in GoldenEye. I thought that was awesome.
And his other question is, what are your thoughts? Again, this is Nathan. What are your thoughts on godlike overpowered weapons in games? Do they make them less enjoyable, or are they a blast to use? And he was talking about the Chicago typewriter in Resident Evil 4 because you just blast through the game.
Oh no, that gave me. There's a reason why I'm on like round 40 on my GameCube version of Resident Evil 4, because those weapons are what make the game fun. You can just run around and like I would start doing runs where I would like buy the first pistol, fully upgrade it, and just be like, okay, well, its precision thing is critical headshots do more damage. Let me try that. And then the next playthrough, I would only use the Tommy gun. Or then, like, on the PS2 version, I would use, if you beat professional...
Isn't there a laser?
Yeah, you get the laser beam if you beat professional mode. And then I would play, like, through doing that. Yeah. So, like, I've beaten that game so many times, but every time I use a different weapon.
I remember, even, like, in Resident Evil 1, getting the rocket launcher, it's like, oh my god, just infinite. Castle Wolfenstein... You could have the Panzer. Yeah. And so what's so funny with that is, like, a round would start. If someone picked a soldier with a rocket launcher, you just fire a rocket across the map into the other team's base. You kill everyone. Immediately, you'd be vote kicked and banned from the server. So, like, in Wolfenstein on Xbox, like, people could make servers. They couldn't ban weapons. So if just anyone used a Panzer, you would just be everyone would just vote kick immediately. So it'd be so funny. Like, the second someone pulled out a Panzer, an instant kill rocket launcher, you get banned. I feel like there's a lot of ways with rocket launchers, but the funny thing with Wolfenstein is you could pick to spawn with it.
Oh, yeah. See, my funny story is Call of Duty 4 had hardcore mode where you can team kill in there. And so, quick tip, this might not work in remastered, but if you want to piss people off, load up Call of Duty 4. Right at the start, you have to take the first perk, 2 times RPG. Right at the start of the round, mash left on the D-pad, immediately hold down and pull your right trigger. You'll fire your rocket right at the center of the ground of where your team's spawning. You immediately kill everyone on your team, and if it's search and destroy, the enemy team immediately wins the round. Me and my friends used to just have so much fun. We would all be on the same team, so we would just team kill everyone. Yeah. But like, people on the other team who were getting free wins off of us would get mad and rage at us, and it's like, wait, we're all doing this to each other, and so we used to have so much fun doing that. But yeah, as for overpowered weapons, I don't mind if it's single player because it adds.
I think that's it. Yeah.
But in multiplayer, like in World at War, the MP44 was one of the most overpowered guns ever, and you could run Juggernaut with it and kill in like 2 bullets still, and that was like ridiculous.
Wasn't even in I remember at the launch of any multiplayer game, there's always some weapon that everyone's like, oh, this is overpowered, it's gonna get nerfed. Wasn't there one where like you had to keep a shotgun, you could just go run around?
Oh yeah, that was Modern Warfare 2, and those guns were ridiculous. They just shot people from across the map, it felt like, and it would just kill you. And yeah, Modern Warfare 2, I have such a love-hate relationship with that game. I liked it because it was something new. Yeah. Because I had quit World at War and kept playing 4, so it was a breath of fresh air, but at the same time, there's so many things in public matches that is not fun with that game. But in the competitive side of it, it's really fun when you play with the competitive rule set.
Anthony has a question. I just got this today. Would you consider Wario to be pudgy fat or muscular fat? Like, if you punch him in the stomach, would it be jiggly or hard? I think Wario is a rich man. I think he's smart, cunning. I like to think that Wario is just a little ball of muscle, you know? Like, he's fat, but I think...
I think he's like Richard Fisk, you know? Like, he just... You punch him and then you're going to break your hand.
Yeah, exactly. I wouldn't want to mess with Wario. Did you ever play that GameCube game?
Yeah, I played Wario, whatever. I forget what it was, but you could walk around with your mouth open, collect the coins and shit. That was fun.
I want to emulate that and try it out.
Yeah, that game was great. Also, the Wario Land games that you could get on your 3DS are really good.
Yeah, so there you go. Wario is muscular. I know, these are open theories. This is game theory. We just talk.
Are you Markiplier?
Did you know Luigi and Mario are brothers?
It's some game theory?
That's a game theory. That's a Did You Know Gaming.
Oh, okay.
Alright, thank you for watching another episode of Neighborhood Game Club. I learned so much about competitive gaming to give you the one-up. Next time you're at your N64 LAN party, which weapon should they use in Turok Rage Wars?
Turok Rage Wars? Just go with the regular shotgun, or if you can find it, the cerebral core. It's only in certain weapons.
Find it on the map.
It's only on certain maps.
Certain maps. Good luck to it. Alright, this is Neighborhood Game Club. Send them more emails to neighborhoodgameclub@gmail.com. Might do a new episode in a few weeks, but in the meantime, we're gonna go check out arcades. I might post a little like after view, see what it's a little clip, but that's it. All right, thanks for watching. I'm never coming back. I want to put on my PSVR helmet and this life. I'm gonna get jacked into.
You're gonna be lost in Res again, or Res?
Yeah, I got the physical copy pre-ordered. All right, thank you so much. Mike, we're gonna gamble. Pick red or blue.
Red. Fuck.
You lost.
Blue. God damn it. Who likes Cool Ranch?